Hi guys, welcome to my end of 2025 whip parade. It is nearly 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the 1st of January 2026. The sun is just about to go below the roof lines over there, so currently it's dazzling me, as you can see by the light, but I've got about an hour of light, if that. So let's see how we do. Right, I stitched on an awful lot of things in 2025. I did a full whip go board with 2 prompts in each box, and I started a lot of stuff and I did a lot of extra stuff, and I stitched on my supersized max colour treasure hunt bookshelf for 363 days last year. I missed 2 days, but never mind, they were unavoidable. One of them was unavoidable and one of them I just fell asleep, and I'm just owning up to it. And for the year in total, I only stitched full crosses. If I did backstitch and counted it, which sometimes I did and sometimes I didn't, I counted 2 back stitches for each cross. I did 290,961 stitches. Every single one I counted. There were a few extras here and there, but hardly anything there. So basically 291,000 stitches. Now I was hoping that I would be able to do average 1,000 stitches a day. That didn't happen. Anyone who follows me knows that 2025 was a really rough year. It went wrong for us early February, and we've been adjusting to a new life since then. However, I have still stitched on loads of things. Now, I didn't really know how to go about my whip parade, so I literally have, this is one of about 3 piles. I have a pile like this, and I'm just going to go through them from the top to the bottom. Got all my stats written here. So, the top of my pile is a Stitch Rovia, Emma Congdon, City of Love. And this was in my whip go. A lot of these, I'm going to be saying that a lot. I reached my whip go goal of 5,000 stitches. This time last year it looked like this. I stitched on it just over 5,000 stitches. It went from 21.19% to 37.7%. And this is it at 37.7%. So most of my whip go goals were 5,000 stitches. Some of them I really did meet and some of them I really did not. So this one did, and this video is not going to be plans for this year 2026. This is just my whip parade, so I'm going to cover that in a separate video, which I'm hopefully going to film tonight or tomorrow morning, so we'll get there with that. Okay, the next one on my pile is my only Artisy chart. It is a mini. I call it my mini nutcracker. He's actually called Mini Santa, I think. Anyway, he got 3,698 stitches. I'll have to put a picture up here of what he looked like last year this time. He went from 28.73% to 51.56%. So he is half done, and I really like him. Really fun. This is 18 count DMC Ada, so he's fun. I'll save my big ones for a little bit later. Okay, the Dragon Eye. As I'm saying them, hopefully I'm inserting a picture of what they look like finished. I'm not going to keep saying it over and over. I'm just going to pop the pictures in, I hope. This got a good chunk of stitching. Dragon Eye. Which page is he on? Dragon's Eye was at 5.04% and looks like that. This time last year I stitched 5,012 stitches into this, and it has changed a lot. This now looks like that, so a big change. 5,000 stitches can really change a piece. Still working on the eye. Haven't quite filled in the iris by about half. Still got all the eye to go, and then there's scales and all sorts, so a long way away with this, but we are 15% in from 5, so that's pretty good. And then my poor sad moon dragon. I did not meet my Rip Go goal in my poor old moon dragon. Where is he hiding? Moon dragon, yeah, only 811 stitches. Last year looked like this at 13.09% of my crop. It's now at 14.48% of my crop. It's not a crop. I'm not stitching the background. The background, as you can see, is this very dark navy black, slightly mottled. So I'm not stitching 45,000 stitches of black. However, because this fabric is very dark, it is nightmarish, and it's 18 count cheap shitty Ada with 1 strand of DMC, but because I've dyed it multiple times to get it this dark, it's probably nearer 20 count, and I struggle a little bit trying to see it because it's very, very dark. But he is lovely, and I think he will be wonderful, but he only got 811 stitches. Not so brilliant, really. Okay, next up, well, I've got 2 on this piece. I've got Kingdom of Books, which anyone who's been watching me will have seen really recently, because I just did finish my WIPCO goals on Kingdom of Books. Let me find it on my list. Where is it? Kingdom of Books was basically a new start this time last year, a restart this time last year. It was at 0.73%, sorry about the terrible picture, and it is now at 13.41%, and now it looks like this. And I've been working on it recently, and I'm really pleased with how it's coming out. I am using 18 count vellum Picture This Plus with the original kit threads, which are not DMC, they're the Chinese polycotton, whatever they are. And I had to change I got a Pattern Keeper working pattern from Etsy, popped it in, and then had to convert all my threads to DMC, which took a little while, but once it was done, I'm good, and I can stitch on it now, and this is really lovely, and I will be stitching on this next year. Also on this piece is Renato Paralin's Seasons Trees, which was a February prompt, and February was when my world went wrong, so it didn't get its full 5,000 stitches. It went from this 1,317 stitches later, it looked like that. This should have had 5,000. It should have been a lot further on than this. Very pretty nonetheless. This is the winter tree. Instead of stitching them as standalone pieces, I'm just going to stitch them as a long straight piece. So I've got both on this piece of fabric. So I've got Kingdom of Books in that corner and the trees in this corner. And they're not going to go anywhere near each other, and it'll all be fine. So that's that one. Okay, that's that bag. Okay, 2 terrible Chinese kits. Spirited Away, which is, these are 2 Tapestry Market kits, which I got out of pure curiosity. Plus we love Studio Ghibli, and they're not licensed anywhere, so I bought unlicensed. Please excuse, I know what I did. Where is this one on my list? Blah, 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 blah. Spirit Away, it got its 5,000 stitch goal, which I finished off just really lately, so picture of it as it was last year. And here it is now with 5,000 stitches added to it. This side here is mostly finished too. There's a bit of it there that's not stitched in. So as you can see, there's 2 different colours. You can barely see. There's a band here, band there. There's several different colours here. The thread is all essentially exactly the same colour. But it is what it is, and I'm stitching it out of curiosity just to see if you can actually see what it is. And the answer is yes and no. So there's that one. And on spilling water on it, it really does, this really does, will completely wash out. Because I spilled some water on it, and now it's started to run quite a lot. So there's Spirited Away. It's a full Chinese kit. They're not expensive. You have to wait for them to arrive, but yeah, not brilliant quality, shall we say. And then I have another one as well, which is also unlicensed. It's Merida, because, Disney. But I really like Brave. It's one of my favourite Disneys. And this did get its stitches, I think. Where is Merida? I call it Merida, but it's obviously from Brave. Where is she? Merida. 2,654. I reset my goal to 2,500 rather than 5. She looked like this time last year, and now she looks like this. So I've done quite a lot of the oranges, filled in her dress, started on her hair. Sometimes easier. Oh, this one's had an accident too. Sometimes easier to see it from the back because you can see where your colour is there. So there we go. Oh, there's an awful lot of 939 in this. All the yellow will be 939, so it's really going to be a silhouette. So I'm quite good with that. This one I think is better than that one. But I'm going to keep stitching on them for now. We will see. We will see. I do have 3 more of these, but if I never finish these, or I never quite, I might never start them, if you see what I mean. Okay, so now we have a proper pattern. Now we've got Night Walk Down by the Blue Flower, and this had a hefty stitch goal of 5,000 stitches, which I did plus a bit. It looked like this time last year, and there are a lot of park threads on this because that's how I roll sometimes. But now she looks like this. So she has come on a lot, an awful lot, and I absolutely love her. Only slight mistake is that the dress is basically the same colour as the background. Oops. This is on a piece of Picture This Plus that I thought was mauve. Turned out it was grey, and I over dyed it with some purple, so it does have, the purple mottling was me, but I wasn't very brave with dyeing fabric back then, so it's not as bright as I would have liked. But anyway, really pleased with my progress into that one, and I'm going to have a stab at her this year. It's only January the 1st, in the hope that maybe I might be able to get her done. Maybe. Next up is another Haid. It's a peekaboo. It's Sea Beacon, and she also got first page. She also got 5,000 stitches. Where is Sea Beacon? Can't find her. She's got to be here. Of course she's here. Sea Beacon. She went from, oh no, she had a different stitch goal. She got 4,064, so I obviously put a 4,000 stitch goal on her. She went from 26.06% to 35.16%. Looked like this time last year. Now she looks like that. So this is just the peekaboo. It's just a cross section through her face, one eye. There we go. She is rather lovely, and I'm really enjoying this. It's very, very easy to stitch. It's like the opposite of confetti. Very good fun. Very easy to get a lot of stitches into it. Yeah, really like my Sea Beacon. Then I've got my Barbara Anna Four Seasons Girls, of which I started and finished the Summer Girl here. So I stitched that one completely, and boop, 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 let's find her. She should be here, maybe on the first page. Four Seasons Girls, 3,280 stitches there. Very pleased, and I have a piece for the Autumn Girl. She's the only one left. I've got winter, I've got spring, I've got summer, so I need autumn there, and then I will put them in oval frames and all 4 of them will be together. So one more to go. Gonna see if I can do her this year. We'll see. Okay, Cooking for Your Dragon, which was very beginning stages last year, was at 0.61%. It got 5,012 stitches, which took it to 17.47%. So now it looks like that. 5,000 stitches into a story keep makes a massive difference. Super pleased with that. And there we go. So the word cooking is going to creep in here, and there's a dragon there, words. And then we've got some jewelly gemmy things. So that's coming along really well. Really pleased with that. There was my first start, but that was terrible because my gridded fabric was not well done. Too sleepy. I've just gridded this myself with a soluble marker. So there we go. Cooking for Your Dragon. Next in my pile, I'm rattling through these. I'm trying not to have a 2-hour long video. Is my Celtic Lady, Lavender and Lace Celtic Lady Summer. And last year she looked like this. A little bit of a dress cut off in the picture, sorry about that. She had all her stitches put in, 5,080. She's so easy to stitch on. And she now looks like that with quite a lot. I've reached the bottom of the skirt there, you know, in bits I've reached the bottom. Still quite a long way off there for her, but very much further on than she was. A lot of stitches went into her skirt there, did the borders bits, and yeah, all that in there is all filled in. You can see the gold sparkling. Marvellous. I have a full kit up for this, so it's very easy for me to get on and do good quantities. And this year I put floss on floss drops, which is really speeds when I'm doing something like this. This really speeds me up. They're floss drops from 2024's Flossmas. All the ones that went wrong, all the ones that were smudged and smeared and rubbish. So I kept all of those, all my mistakes, and used them myself. So absolutely love her, absolutely love her. And I have since been sent the outstanding patterns. So I have all 5 of these. I have the 4 Seasons and Noel. So just the one on the go, but I would love to stitch them all at some point in time. I really would. Okay. So in this pile I have my oldest whip, which is the Shores of Hawkrun Hollow. Now I do 1 block of this a year. So I am currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm 6 blocks in, and this year's block I did half of the centre block. Hawkrun Hollow, blah blah blah, Halloween, where is the Shores? Should be here. Just to let you know how many stitches it was, really. Shores of Hawkrun Hollow, 4,134 stitches went into half a ship. Half a ship and a dolphin. So I've got the other half a ship to do next year. This year goes in here. So in full, this now looks like this. This is obviously a glorious technical version of anything I've got lying around. It's on a piece of nasty Witchelt fabric, which I now know that when you get these horrible starched fabrics, you just wash them. It takes all the starch out and you end up with floppy linen, which personally I really like. Some people like the very stiff stuff. I stitch in a Q-snap, doesn't really make a difference to me. In reality, I just don't like the feel of it in my hands, but in reality it doesn't make a difference when you're stitching on it if you're holding it tight in a Q-snap. I've got all my threads as I'm using them in a terrible muddle, but they're all there, so I can find the colours to carry on. This will get its block this year, as they do. But have I just got big ones left on my lap here? Not quite. Okay, this one I've been stitching on really recently. We have got, what is it called? Got the picture up here, Winter Fairy Tale. And last year it was at 24.63%. It's had its stitches, 5,000, and it's now at 41.61, so not halfway, but we've only seen this in its Q-snap lately. There it is. And I do hope I've got room for this. I think I need to go to the other side of the fox and just double check there's room. Looking at it, because looking at how much is sticking out the side of the deer, it looks like it's going to be very, very close. So there we go. Anyway, I've been working up here in this bit, doing a lot of stitches up there just to try and get the top bit in so I could have a good look at that. And yeah, I'm really happy with the progress on this. I really enjoy stitching on this. Very pretty. From Etsy at some point. Winter Fairy Tale it's called. Then I've got some big ones. I've got Meditation, which I've got some of its stitches but not all of them. I'd had 2 prompts of Meditation. One of them I did and one of them I didn't. Meditation was at 5.07%, got 4,828 stitches, and it's now at 6.61%, and it's now here. So it has come along quite a lot, but it isn't as far along as I'd like. But hey ho, there we go, look. Oh, don't forget those stitches on that side there. Anyway, there it is, masses. It's going to fit this piece of fabric. We've got a very, very long way to go on Meditation, but a little bit every year and it comes along. And this is on 20 count Ada, which is 1 strand, personal favourite. I love 1 strand on 20 count. I just think it's brilliant. You can see the crosses and it's not cluttered. Even with high confetti, it doesn't get thick and cluttered. Also on 20 count with 1 strand is Amazing Animal Kingdom. I'll pop a picture of it up here. And it didn't get all of its stitches because again it spun in February. Oh, it got picked in February. Books, where's Amazing Animal Kingdom? Can't find it. I will find Amazing Animal Kingdom. Right, it got 3,136 stitches, went from 7.14% to 8.08%, and my stitches went in over here on this side. Pretty easy to show you. There. My stitches went in mostly there, and I found a gorilla. Some of the gorilla anyway. So that's where my stitches went in, but I didn't meet my goal. There's the bit that's done. So still a very long way to go on this here bookshelf. But we truck along. A little bit every year. That's the byword for the next few. Just a little bit every year. Then we've got The Better to See You With, which is the Cross Stitch Studio, which is the most massive piece. 20 count washed Ada, which I have now started to grid with the filament, which helps a lot. Last year it kind of looked like this, really poor picture, but I can basically hold up. That was where it kind of was last year. And then I carried the green down. It's folded in half. So I stitched to see you with, where is it? Can't find it. Goodness me. This is not going so well, is it? I've literally got Better to See You With, went from 1.38%, 4,561 stitches, took it to 2.2. This is at 2.2%. Rubbish. But that's basically what I stitched. So I followed, you can see the green, but followed down. And I went down the green, got to the bottom, joined on some red, and I found red. So it's Little Red Riding Hood there, and there she is. That was my stitches. I should have probably put in 7,000, I think, and I did 4, so 4.5. So I did miss an awful lot of stitches off her. I would like to pick her up again this year, but I don't know if my stitching goals allow for that. We'll see. And then these next 3 are all going to be worked on this year. Start with Ariel, which is my Mandy Manzano piece, which I got from Etsy. She does work with Haid at the moment, so, but you can't get this one. And I put in, where is Ariel? There she is, 5,021 stitches. So I met my stitch goal, went from 17.82% to 22.01. And she now looks like that. So I found the tail and I found the bottom of the piece, so she fits. She fits the fabric really well. I think it's almost like I measured it. Possibly did. Anyway, there we go. This is on 16 count gridded Ada. So it's the weird gridded Ada that I need to draw over because I can never decide where my line is on the grey because the grey runs through a stitch and I can never remember. So I took the tail, I followed the tail with the black and stitched in a couple of colours into the tail, but found the bottom. Mostly the stitches were black, and I found this corner the year before, 2024, so she will get worked on because I do love stitching on her. Then I've got my Bountiful bookshelf, which I switched in end of 2024. I switched from normal size, normal colour to normal size max colour. The charts do overlay perfectly, but so I put in, I think I got my stitches, went from 10.42 to 11.87. I think I take a full picture of this. If I do, last year's will be on the screen. If I don't, it's a rubbish picture I took today. I took a screenshot today for my video and it's rubbish. So I'm just going to show you it instead. Here we go. Here is where we are now. So this year I mostly filled in Peter Pan. Now I'm using the max colour for the Peter Pan, which is great, really lovely. I did notice though that a lot of the stitches, I'd done this top bit here and a lot of the stitches are completely different colours than the ones underneath. So the ones I'd already stitched, the new colour for the max colour is completely different, which has given me great concerns for Aesop's Fables here because I've already done quite a lot of Aesop's Fables. So what I'm going to do this year is try and finish Aesop's Fables. Don't know how many stitches it is, we'll find out. But I will use the old version. So I'll use the standard version just because there's so much of it stitched. I don't want to do it. And I'll do the same for these two as well. These, well, that one I'm probably not, but this one I'll use the old version because the colours don't overlay well. And I've already stitched a lot of it. The rest of it will be, and by the rest of it, I mean the rest of it will be the max colour version. Just the books I've already stitched. So this one, that one and that one. That one I'll carry on with max colour. But I'm only going to concentrate on Aesop's Fables this year. And I'm going to use the standard colour just because I've stitched so much already of it. But this year my stitches went into Peter Pan there. Didn't get it finished, but I finished my goal. And then I've got the key on my lap, which is my one of my oldest. I think it's my oldest Haid now because I restarted my treasure hunt bookshelf. And it got, oh, I know what it did last year. The key went from 50.02 to 54.3. So I did 4%, which was 7,544 stitches. I should have a full-size picture of it taken last year. And I think, pretty sure, I spent a long time filling in ivy. I think I filled in a lot of ivy. Anyway, so I'm going to hold it there because I think that's pretty much where my stitches went in. And I will also insert a full picture of what it looks like today, because my big ones, my really big ones, I take a full-size picture every year. So I'll go and lay these out and get my full-size pictures of them to put into my video. There we go. So that's my first pile. Now, ones that didn't get touched on my whip go, so have not changed at all. My Sycamore Gap, my Bothy Threads kit, still at one page, was meant to have the second page done, but didn't. It's sad. That spun in December, and December's goals did not get touched. Too much to do in December. And equally sad was Modern Folk Embroidery, which did not get touched, exactly where it was this time last year. Definitely going to stitch on it somewhat this year, just because I owe it. I feel like I owe it. So I'll do something into it. I'll put it in my Whipco tree and see when it spins. Also, Hubble Bubble, my little Lisa Parker ornament, did not get touched. So it is still there. Didn't get touched. Again. Let's see out. Right, half an hour in and one pile done. I'll be back in a bit to do my next pile before it gets dark. Right, straight back because we're going to lose the light, but I've got my next pile on my lap. So, Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. Again, I stitch one block a year. Let me find it on my list. So I can tell you I did 4,355 stitches, which was this block. Oh yeah, colour's good. This is why we film in natural light. So I stitched this block this year. It was quite a full-on block. Lots and lots to do in that block. But I can show you it in full here. God, I love this piece so much. And as you can see, I have been stitching on it for 5 years. One block a year for me. So we've got good choices for 5, 6, 7 more years. And we'll see how we finish. I'll pick a block. I haven't decided which block to stitch this year. I picked the one, 2025, I picked the block that I thought had the least amount of stitches in it. So, oh my goodness, what can I do? Headless Horseman maybe? They're all completely nearly full coverage. That one is full coverage, just totally full coverage. That train's not too bad. The swamp is, oh my god, that one really is full coverage. So I've got 2 that are almost completely full coverage. These are easily half. That one doesn't look too bad. I might do the train this year. And then the swamp I'm flipping. So whereas this one has got the sky stitched, I'm going to stitch the swamp because my background is blurple. So it doesn't make sense to have a blurple swamp. I'm going to have a sickly green swamp. I do have the colour. There is my swamp colour. I think it's Grasshopper. It is Grasshopper. That's what I bought to do my swamp. It is like sickly green. Looks like sick to me. It literally looks like vomit. So that's going to be my swamp. Isn't it glorious though? That is just amazing. I mean, the light is just perfect right now, but I've only got about 10 minutes of this, so we've got to get going. And then under that, we've got Aphrodite, who I did put quite a lot of stitches into, didn't meet my goal. I did adjust my goal down for Aphrodite from 5,000 to, oh, I didn't, 1,882. I restarted her essentially because last year, the tiny start that you might be able to see was pink. Now it is blue. I changed the colour of the dress completely. So I've got a knee and the top of a swan. That's it. That's all I've done. So the bit from last year was about here. Was that bit there. So I took that out, started the swan and then picked out all the pink and went again. there. So 882. I need to do some stitching on this because I would like it done. You can see my fabric is amazing. It's called It's a Mystery. Look at that. It is epic. Epic piece of fabric. I totally love it. Look at it. So mottled. Anyway, that's Be Stitch Me fabric. A kind gift. And now I've got my finishes. So my Whipgo tree was full of things to finish. I've got my 2 Christmas finishes there as well, which I'll show you while I'm here. And my little one there. So in no particular order, we've got Autumn Fox, which I'm putting a picture up of where it was last year at 9.25%, 5,817 stitches, finished it. It's on a piece of Scotsman, 40 count, and it's showing slightly lighter than it is. It's more blue-grey. There, isn't he lovely? So he's finished. Peaceful Street, my hair is annoying me intensely. Peaceful Street was finished, 2,829 stitches to finish a small little Russian kit. Same designer, Adriana, I think it is, to Kingdom of Books, and that's done. I finished my Renato Parolin, 3,840 stitches, finished the oval cushion, which is there, which is wonderful. And Tiny Modernist, the Stitching Goddess. Let me find her. 4,559 stitches, finished her. And I'm really pleased she's done. I'm really pleased I actually finished her. That was an in-between mile. So, right, now I've got my bugs. I finished all the bugs. Dragonfly. Where are they? Let me find them. Right, the Dragonfly was at 64.18. 1,854 stitches later, it was finished. The Ladybird was at 65.09%. 1,451 stitches finished my Ladybird. The Butterfly was at 63.28%. 2,319 stitches finished the Butterfly. The Bee was at 63.21%, 2,122 stitches, finished the Bee. Oh, they're amazing. And then I've got the Wasp, which was at 67.45, 1,394 stitches, finished the Wasp. And then the last one, the Spider, was at 65.83, 759. Easy peasy, finished the Spider. So, finished. Then I've got 2 very nice finishes. Emma Congdon, Everything is Better with a Little Bit of Magic. A little bit of magic, blah, blah, blah. Was at 50.11%, and I finished it. It doesn't really tell me how many stitches it was, but there it is, finished. Marvellous. I did get the pattern keeper for this, which really helped an awful lot, but it's marvellous. I really must get that framed for Halloween next year. And then I finished your All Kinds of Amazing. These actually spun the same month, which was really weird. All Kinds of Amazing was a paper pattern, so there was no idea where we were with it. I did 4,745 stitches to finish it, and I still absolutely love this. I did quite a muted colour palette of anchor threads that loosely matched the DMC colours in the pattern, and I love it. I love those tigers. I left them till last so that I forced myself, because if I'd done the tigers I would have only ever stitched the tigers. I would never have finished it. Right, now I've got 4 starts and finishes here in Hands On Design, do a freebie every Valentine's, and this is You Have My Heart. It's full of mistakes, it's terrible. I was stitching it for Richard when he went into hospital, and for those who don't know, my other half went blind, completely blind in February, so he'll never see it. So that one is a bit of a pariah. I won't ever frame that. It just sits there. But I did stitches into it. And then I stitched Space September with Adelaide and started and finished Cosmic Girl 2 on a piece of Ada that I overdyed to make it look a bit spacey. So she's rather wonderful. And then over Christmas, this is still not finished, by the way. This was a Barbara Anna Santa's Christmas Ride, this is called. It's finished. It will be finished onto a project bag very shortly, and I will draw from Christmas Days. I will draw from Christmas Days comments when I finish this bag. So they're all just on hold, and I'm going to finish it onto, oh, I'll pull this out here. I'm going to finish it onto a project bag, this project bag, which is the Pale Bunnies. That's going to be the outside, and I'm going to make a pocket to go on it, so it'll have its big vinyl zip on the front, and then on the back it's going to have a pocket with this on it, and I will give that away, but not today. And then through Flossmas I stitched Santa's Trips in a completely random colourway there, which I'm super happy with. It was 11,000 stitches something, but I did 300 a day. I did all the border and the boxes before Flossmas, and then I did 300-ish a day until it was done in my rather random colour palette, which I absolutely love. That one, obviously still not framed. I do have a frame for it, I just can't find the frame for it. Right, so that's the things I finished, but obviously stitched on in the year. I've got one more pile, which is everything else that wasn't Whip Go, and then I've got my long dogs to show you. Right, I'll be returning in a sec. Okay, so he's going to be last, and now I can show you what I've termed everything else. So these are mostly new starts or things I worked on that weren't in Whip Go. So I got 2 Gecko Rouge kits. One is here, and I've started it. It's called Ursa Major, and it is, oh, its cover sheet has wandered off. That's helpful. I'll put a picture up of it. I've done a tiny little start of Ursa Major. I need my everything else page. There it is. 377 stitches is 0.35%, so I basically bought the kit for 25 count 2/1, and I'm stitching it 20 count 1/1, so I'll have more than enough floss. I did a centre start, and that's where it is, 377 stitches, but it's a long way away. But I started it. There's my threads. It's amazing, this kit. I was gifted gift cards to spend with Gecko Rouge, and I bought 2 kits. The other one I will start at some point this year, but I'm not ready to do that because I've got a lot of other things to start first. So that was my Gecko Rouge kit that I started. Then here is my Cross Stitch Studio Sal, which I did that many stitches on and stopped. That was January, that was February, that was March. I realised I couldn't go on with it, so I've got quite a lot of 20 count fabric there that I can use for something else. I will never finish this. The actual full finished picture, I'll put a picture of it up, I don't actually like very much, so I'm kind of glad I didn't put thousands and thousands of thousands of stitches and hours of my time into it, because with the mystery Sal you never know what you're getting. I started 324 the day Richard went into hospital, and I did that much of 324. I need to get back to this. It's a beautiful pattern. This is on 32, might be 36 count. I think it's 32 count, It's opalescent Lugana, and I've done that much. So lots to go, but getting on with that. I haven't got any details of this one. So I was going to do every month, I was going to finish the cross stitch off on my 2024. I started 12 Mill Hill Christmas Village. Those two there, that's not part of it anymore. I took those off because they didn't really fit. So there's 12 of them, of the Christmas villages. They're shops mostly. And I've got the Tree Farm and Joe's Garage. And, oh no, that's the fire station. So the Tree Farm has actually got all its cross stitch finished. So this is just waiting for beads and treasures and backstitch. And then I started on this one here doing the same. And then my world changed. Richard went into hospital. I was going to do one a month and it was going to be great. And I was going to get them all ready to do all the beads this year. But that didn't happen. So it's in the wings. I might pull this out now and again, and I can carry on with each kit as I go. Yeah, I've got each kit ready with the threads used. I basically started one every other day in Flossmas 2024. But this one here got stitches in this year and ready for the beads. And then, oh, I've got this wonderful piece here that I haven't stitched on for ages. This is going to try, I'm going to try and get this finished in 2026 here. I started the Fantastical Greenhouse Sal from Tiny Modernist. I have finished the first 3 parts. I'm working on the 4th part and I've got the 5th part to do. So it's currently there. So I'm working on this piece here that's got the dragon climbing up the side of the greenhouse. I just need to finish off this bit, and then I've just got 1 part left down there, which is the same size as this part here. I've got that bit there to go, and then it will be finished. And with this one here, it's in a custom frame here that I made out of pipe, because I'm beading the greenhouse frame. There you go, you can see. These are size 15, teeny tiny, because this is 32 count. It's 32, it's 36 count. Elemental. Lakeside Needlecraft, yes, it's 36 count. It's got a nasty mark on it there, but I'm not going near that. That's going to be well below the stitched bit, so that's fine. Got a really nasty stainy mark there. Don't know what that is. It looks like it's got ink on it to me, like pen. Oops. So they're size 15, teeny tiny little Delica beads. But I do love them, just to give the frame a bit of a shape there. Cosmo's just brought something in. He's going to eat it. It's big. Oh, what has he done that for? Crikey. He's just come in with like a rather large mouse with a really short tail, a shrew, hanging from his mouth. And he's going to eat it on the floor. Oh God. Cosmo is one of our cats who was in a very poor state for about a year and is suddenly incredibly well. He has got very fat. He's got very fluffy. He's unbelievably well from being not sure he was going to make it. Anyway, Fantastical Greenhouse Sal, I want to get this finished this year. I will get back to that for sure. Shannon Christine, still haven't finished these little postage stamps that I really need to just finish off. Did not touch them all year long. Really need to do that. Oh dear. Then I've got these, which I've finished, not quite. I finished 2 of the 3. So I had the Wolfie there. Wolfie was, I've actually got these written down somewhere. Wolfie took 187 stitches to finish, so easy peasy. These are slightly purpley, this fabric's slightly purplier than it's looking. And then Catboy took 923 stitches to finish, There, he's there. And then the squids, I'm at 83%, 2,129 stitches into the 3 squids there. Not quite finished. I've not finished this squid here, and there's a couple of colours missing out of their eyes there. I will get these finished. And then I still haven't finished what the cat saw, which is I changed to be Eric. I've still got this bit of background here to do. I've got a line to put in under the windowsill, and I've got the back stitch to do, and there's a lot more backstitch than I thought. There's like 6 different colours of backstitch, so I still need to do that. Still not finished. Still, how is it still not finished? Because I haven't stitched on it, that's why. Okay, and then randomly right before Christmas I started, really randomly right before Christmas, I started Shannon Christine, not Shannon Christine, I started Carolyn Manning Designs Make-A-Wish. 250 stitches into that, which is 1.04%. Absolutely love it. It's teeny tiny. It will fit very nicely on this little piece of 18 count gridded dado. It'll just be so big. It's only little. So I really love that. Oh, I'm missing one. I'm always missing one. And then I've got Haunted Hollow, which is can't remember. I'll put its picture up here with its designer's name on it because I can never remember. And I am 6.16% into this, 1358. It was the orange fabric sal. Again, Adelaide influencing me. Wow, my fabric is very much brighter than it actually is in real life. It's not quite that orange, but this is a wonderful fabric. It's called Pumpkin Patch. It's Be Stitch Me. I got this fabric and I thought, I'm never going to use this fabric. It is awful orange yuck. And of course it's amazing fabric in actual fact. And look at it, it's wonderful. It's beautifully mottled, and it is nowhere near as bright as it is showing. It's not that orange. It's quite a beauty fabric in real life. But there we go. I have started it. I did the cat and the witch, and that's the middle. The gates are in the middle of the bottom. Helen D has finished this, and it looks outstanding. So I need to get on with it. And then in a Q-snap, ready to go, is the Haid Sal 2026, which I'm still going to stitch my crop of. I'll put a picture of my crop up. I chose Fairy Tale. The idea was that we stitch one full page and you got an exclusive Amy Stewart chart, except they gave us the exclusive Amy Stewart chart when they released the Haid chart. So it knocked all the wind out of my sails, and quite a lot of other people too felt the same as me, who've commented on my last video and said, I feel the same. Nobody's been brave enough to post into the Haid Sal group how a lot of us feel. I'm certainly not going to be the person to do that. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to stitch my crop either way, and I'm currently 177 stitches in, which is 1.06% of my crop. So my crop will fill just this page, just my lines here. There's my edge, down to the bottom there, and up there. And I've already zeroed out a couple of colours by doing the only stitch. Now our 2 yellow stitches there, 1 in 165 there, 1 yellow stitch there, and that was 3 colours zeroed out. There would have been more stitches had I done the full sal, but I'm only doing 16,677 stitches of an 88,000 stitch piece, so I've really cropped down. The only full page I'm doing is page 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6 are partials, because I was doing it with purpose. I'm still doing it with purpose. I'm missing one, but I think I've also started, I'll put a little picture up of it because I'll find it and take a photo of it. The Christmas terrarium I started from Tiny Modernist that I bought from the Jingle Ball, and yeah, I'm using my Christmas colourway for that, but I'm torn because I think I actually do prefer the original colourway, so I might stitch it in the original colourway instead. So it's kind of in the air, that one. But I've done 336 stitches into that, which is 12%. Now, my treasure hunt bookshelf. This year, my dear treasure hunt bookshelf, supersized max colour, got 40,945 stitches into it, which is not 1% a month. 7, 14, 21, 28. It's about 6%. It's at 36.41% today. I will put up a full picture of it as it was last year, and then a full picture of it as it is today. Now, this year I've mostly been stitching the black, and I stitched black stitches until I got bored of stitching black stitches, which took me most of the year to get bored of it. I stitched on this every single day apart from 2. That was my goal, was to stitch on it every day, so I managed reasonably well. And then when I got bored, I drew myself a square, and I'm filling in my square, which has got a big brown door in the middle of it. And that's where it is at the minute, my square. As you can see, that's the side, goes to there, goes down the side there, and it goes right to the bottom of the piece, which is there. So I've done quite a lot of the black, and I'm filling in 814 at the moment. So there we go, and there is a circular door just there. And that's what I'm doing at the moment. So I'm going to continue stitching in this, but I'm going to change up how I do it. I'm not putting the pressure on myself to stitch on it every single day anymore. I'm going to set myself a monthly stitch goal, which will not be a full percent, because that's too much for me at the moment. So we will see. I will decide that, and I will let you know in my plans video, which will be up. Won't be tomorrow, it will be a couple of days. The plans video where I fill my whip go tree with prompts. I do my spin thing, which I'm not going to do a tiny decisions wheel. I'm going to do a pot full of Scrabble letters to choose which one to rotate. I'm going to have it's long dog year. I'm on to long dogs. That's everything except long dogs done. I'm going to go and get my pile of long dogs and get them done before it gets dark. So I am now stepping into long dog year. I'm going to go and get my long dogs. I'll be right back. I'm going to show you last year's progress on my long dogs, and then that's my whip parade done. Right, now I'm in my comfort zone before the light goes. I've got my long dog samplers. Oh, I love them all so much. Oh, I've just lost my beading needle minder. Okay, these have got to rattle because the light is going. So I had a lot of these in my whip go tree, and I've tidied up a lot of them. So this is the new normal, and I've floss carded up all my colours. Things like that I've done this year, which have made my life a lot easier. Let's start with the new normal. 5,644 stitches went into the new normal, and it is now at 37.5%, and it is now here. This is on a piece of Bee Stitch Me. I think it's a Gean. It is 40 count. That darker colour it just flashed is its actual colour. I'm doing this in pinks and teals, and of course, because I'm me, I've introduced a new colour, purple. Here's purple here, purple there, and love it. So I just decided one morning, and because I had a Sunday off work, I played the Great British Bake Off. I did it in 2 big chunks. I didn't quite get it finished. Heads up, didn't quite get it finished, but I did stitch a lot on my long dogs. I had 3,000 stitch days. One day was just under, but the other one was definitely over. Cat's been sitting on this one. Right, this one was a new start, as you do. Oh my goodness, have I got its numbers? Because it was a new start. Some of my long dogs aren't on the list. Oh, it's here, thank goodness. So this one is Fishy Goings On. It was a new start, and it is now, I've done 4,060 stitches on it, and it's at 23.44%, and here it is. Now I'm going to be doing all 4 of these. I've got 2 on the go currently, and some of it is beaded and some of it is stitched. And this is not sulky, this is 12 weight Aurifil, which is really quite wonderful. And this piece of fabric is called Belladonna. It has bleached by the sun. You can see that corner there is quite light now. I've got the other half for the other one. And then here is this one. This one is called Fish and Chips, and you can see what I'm doing. I dyed this fabric to match that thread. It took some time. I had to put quite a bit of green in it to match the thread, and that is sulky. That's a lovely purpley inky blue sulky thread there. Nowhere near as much stitched into this one. They are in 14 by 14 inch Q snaps, which I bought 2 of because, as you can see, they fit really well. However, I will be, because I'm beading them, I don't want to crush them with Q snaps, so I got R&R frames to fit. I'm going to be starting the other 2 very shortly, so they will be rotated in and out of these frames rather than permanently left in. So this one here, Fishy Goings On, and this one here, Fish and Chips, 11.41%, which is 1877 stitches. So they were both new starts. So that's those ones there. And then on my birthday, I started Death by Cross Stitch on the most beautiful XG Design fabric. Here's the fabric. Oh, it's amazing. I've got a big piece of this. Death by Cross Stitch is only going to sit on about half of it. And here is my start. 557 stitches, 0.68%. There is my start. It's tiny, the light's going. Oh, poo. I really hope the light would hold out, because now it sort of looks blocky to me now. There's my tiny start. So I'm using a whole range of threads for this. Some Silks for You little hanks I got sent. 2 people sent me Silks for You hanks from New Zealand. Not hanks, the little twisty bits, which was pretty wonderful actually. Right, I just need to go with this. So Pointed Fifth got an awful lot of stitches this year. I'm going to put the picture up of it. I stopped last night. Well, I did some stitches this morning actually. It is at exactly 80%, 80%. It has had so many stitches this year. Let me find it on here. Pointed Fifth. Oh, it just says the percentage. It was at 56.4% last year, and now it's at 80. Oh, there it is. And it's ombre. It's on 32 count. Baby pink, because I dyed it myself. Opalescent Lugana. All the navy blue is 823 Etoile. My colourway that you're very, very welcome to use if you love this and want to do your own similar. There's a whole video on it. So just scroll down till you get how I sorted out my Pointed Fifth. And I actually list all the colours in that. So it's on that video. Anyway, colours are in there. By the by, this is my colour palette for Spangled, which I will start soon. Whenever it comes up, I will start it. Okay, really fighting the light now. I feel blurred. So sorry. Pandemic, I took to a percentage point. Took it to 22% from 18.52. It now looks like that because I found, ooh, that suddenly jumped in, didn't it? I found the other corner. So that's where it is now. So it's had a good chunk of stitching, not quite 5,000, but a good chunk. We'll be seeing my long dogs again very shortly, so I'm going to go very quickly. Okay, Happily Ever After went from 10.3% to 49.42%. I've put in 6,037 stitches into this. Now looks like this. It's come along an awful lot. Nearly 50%. Nearly half done. Wow. Brilliant. That's what it actually looks like with the colour right. With the colour adjusted for the fabric there. It just suddenly went right. So lots into those. A lot of this was helped with my Great British Bake Off game because a lot of them I'd already worked on, and then I did extra stitching on them too. Count Your Blessings, which is my tiddly tiny silly Billy one. Don't think I'd even stitched on it last year. Count Your Blessings is currently at 35%. and that's where it is now. So it's come on an awful lot. This is thanks to the Great British Bake Off stitchy game, because that did an awful lot for it. And two that have not been touched are Santa Quill and Forbidden Fruit. I'm not even going to get them out, but they are whips, but they haven't changed. Also, I think it changed a tiny bit, tiny bit, did a tiny bit of Castles in the Air. Might be able to find a picture of what that looked like for years and years and years. And it now looks like this, because I did do a little bit. I went up here and did a little bit up here. Pretty sure I put a little bit of stitching into that. Castles in the Air is at 12.21%. It's on a piece of straightforward 40 count Lagoon, Zweigart Lugana, and I'm using Quicksilver Dinky Dye, and I love it. And I've got some more hanks to put in here. There's one in there, and I think I've got two more new ones. I just ordered a new one. Jack Be Nimble was in my Whip Go tree. It got 4,598 stitches, which took it from 17.15% to 30.46%. So I should just be able to hold it up. That's how my single thread magnetic floss drops work, and it is now here. I'm stitching this in a big long line with 2 strands on over-dyed 20 count Ada of Karen Waterlily Opal, and it's wonderful and I love it, and it's come along so well, and I'm going to keep going. So excited to start all these long to carry on, do all these long dogs. The light is going, it's all in my lap. I must keep going until the light is gone. It's getting dark very, very quickly here. Okay, dilemma. Can't really give you any stats on this, apart from to put up the picture of what it looked like last time and show you the picture of what it looks like now, because it's a paper pattern. Might have the number of stitches I put into it though. Dilemma. Not on those pieces of paper. Hang on a second. 2,778 went into that. Another single thread floss drop there. This is Karen Waterlily in Pomegranate. It's a 36 count. It's like fabric flare. It's called Granite. It's a Lakeside Needlecraft exclusive. I absolutely super rate this fabric. I love it. And I've got to chug along with the frame. My Whip Go goal was to finish the frame, which makes me laugh. It's about 20,000 stitches to finish that frame. Absolutely ridiculous that I could have even thought about doing that. I'm just going to carry on with it for now. Okay, we've got 3 or 4 more. Gone to Pieces, one of my favourites. Went from 33.33%, 4,741 stitches, took it to 51.97. It's now here. I love this, doing really well with it. Really love it. That's quite a good colour match there, actually, quite good. Oh, I really feel pacey with this light. And then I've got 2 new starts. I started Saga. Lovely, lovely, lovely subscriber sent me a big box from America full of, among other things, a whole yard of Picture This Plus flapper. It is 28 count linen, so it's 14 count stitches, 2 over 2, and I started Saga on it, and Saga's this size, and Saga is currently sitting at 4,509 stitches, 4.34, and I'm doing an ombre of basically every over-dyed floss I own in the right colours. So I started with the very, very palest pinks, and those are the next 2 colours there, which are in it there. I think I'm doing 4 or 5 stitches deep of each one. I'm going to fold it up a little bit. This is just, it's almost unmanageably large, but you know what? I'm just going to do it. There. Oh, even in this terrible light. Yeah, there we go. In focus there. Beautiful. There's my saga. And that's the next one going in. As you can see, I'm sort of ombreing down the way. I'm not doing any blending. There's blending involved in the pointed fifth. Go and watch the video. But this one, I'm just moving from colour to colour. And then the last one, apparently in my pile, is You Belong to Me, which I started. Tiddly tiny little You Belong to Me, 2.91%. 1216 stitches, and this is on a piece of Be Stitch Me fabric. It's a sandy coloured one because it's it's the Egyptian one, and I'm doing it in olive greens on the sandy fabric, and we can just about see it if the light would just play ball for one more second. Anyway, tiddly tiny start. This is 28 count 1/1. So it's tiny. It's a big long dog, but it's tiny. You Belong to Me. It's a 42,000 stitch long dog, which is a mid-size one. It's a mid-size long dog. It's one of the. It's not massive. Pointed fifth is 67. Pandemic is 77. Death by cross stitch is 81. So this one's a mid-size one at 42. There's the colour. Can you see the colour there? There it is. Anyway, there we go. I probably will go and film an outro to this up in my room tonight, but I'm so sorry the light has gone. But we nearly made it through. Just a couple of them were a little bit blurry there. I think that's everything I've stitched on this year. As I say, 290,000, well basically just under 291,000 stitches. It's quite a lot of stitches. I've had a wonderful year stitchy wise. It's kept me going. I can't overemphasize how much this community has kept me going, kept me sane, kept me busy, kept my mind occupied this year, and I thank you all. I've had so much support. I've had financial support, I've had gifts, I've had people just saying lovely things. Lots of people have reached out with stories and emails and messages, and I thank you all. I truly thank you all. I monetised my channel in March. I've been on FlossTube 5 years. I've never monetised. I'm now monetised, and it's making a massive difference. Doing Flossmas videos for 1 month is such a difference for me. Honestly, that's the groceries and the fuel for the car for a month. So thank you so much for watching and putting up the mid-roll adverts. It makes a huge difference, and to me personally it's made a massive difference this year, because it's been a very hard year in every way, but to know that the financial's not quite that hard has made a huge difference. And I just want to thank everybody who's watched my videos, who's liked something, and has sat through horrible boring adverts with, oh my god, she's copped out, she's sold out, she's monetised. YouTube put the adverts in anyway, they're unavoidable, and you've all been wonderful, and so many people have just said just put them in, it doesn't matter, we all watch them anyway. And it's true, we all do, but I was so adamant I wasn't going to do it, but I did. But only because my life changed so much, so quickly. But we made it through, yeah? Anyway, thank you everybody so much. It's been a wonderful FlossTube year. I did a FlossTube every week. I didn't drop a FlossTube. And I did all of my Flossmasses. And the light is gone. It's now, the background is now starting to cut in and out behind me. I just put the blind down so that I had like a background behind me to hold up things too. I'm going to go because this is getting very weird and lighted gloomy. So I will see you with my filling my whip go tree for 2026 and all my long dog plans, which I will film either tonight or tomorrow. You'll have it in a couple of days. Thank you so much everybody. Just literally from the bottom of my heart, thank you for this year. You've all kept me going. Bye bye.